This has got to be the world's most dangerous swimming pool. Due to a major design flaw, the water current reaches speeds of over 18 miles per hour. But this guy can actually swim upstream. In this deadly swimming pool, in the water, he moves like a shark. The next moment this man suddenly leaps out of the water. Finally, after a full 2.5 hours of waiting, Yujiro finishes this warm-up session with complete satisfaction. And right then the colonel brings the latest news about Baki. When he hears that his son actually defeated a 220-pound mantis, Yujiro suddenly bursts out laughing. In his eyes, Baki only defeated an opponent he made up in his head. No matter how huge his imagined mantis was, it's all fake, not even worth a real-life dog. But Baki already figured his dad would say that. So to quickly boost his strength, he decides to kidnap the US president, right in front of 100,000 security personnel. And Baki's doing all this, just so the president will send him to Arizona State Prison, because that's where they keep the so-called unchainable man, Oliva. The president wants to refuse, but faced with Baki's incredible power, the president has no choice but to agree to Baki's demands. Soon Baki gets arrested by the police. From detention to trial to final sentencing, the whole process takes less than a day. After a long journey, Baki finally arrives at the prison as he planned. But before entering the prison, inmates first have to strip off all their clothes, then line up to go through metal detectors. If anyone's caught carrying contraband, they get shot on the spot. Next comes fingerprint collection and retinal scans, then mouth swab samples, to create a complete file on each prisoner. After all these checks, every prisoner's file eventually ends up in the warden's hands. But what Baki didn't expect is that Oliva heard he was coming and can't wait to meet him. Soon Baki follows the guards to the corridor where the serious criminals are held. There's an acrylic wall every 30 feet. The criminals here are all extremely twisted. Hey pretty boy, wanna be my boyfriend? I'll give you my snacks and candy. After passing through multiple checkpoints, Baki finally reaches Oliva's cell. But the moment he opens the door, Baki is completely stunned, because what he sees can only be described as absolutely luxurious. The room's full of priceless paintings and countless bottles of top-shelf wine. It's even more luxurious than the presidential suite. Oliva already knows Baki wants to challenge Yujiro Hanma, but Oliva couldn't care less about the father-son showdown. However, Baki wanting to use him as practice to get stronger, that he finds completely ridiculous. This prison holds 7,642 American criminals. 7,641 of them want him dead, but he's still the king of this prison. But after hearing Oliva's words, Baki just looks completely unimpressed. If it's a fight, then we can start anytime, anywhere. Before he even finishes talking, Baki throws a vicious punch right at Oliva's face. But what he doesn't expect is that such a powerful strike doesn't hurt Oliva at all. Faced with Baki's rudeness, Oliva doesn't get angry. Instead, he tells him to go practice with the prison's second strongest man. Soon Baki gets taken to Mr. Second's cell. Baki looks around, just as he's deciding which bunk to sleep in. Suddenly a dark figure calls out Baki's name. Baki's shocked. He never expected Champion Tyson to be in this cell too. Baki thought he must be the prison's second strongest man, but Tyson quietly tells him he can't even crack the top 10 here. He doesn't want to die young fighting for status.